Neitz pub again. One of the most challenging situations of all time. It's been a huge day here, Davo. Triple M have been in the house announcing the big moment for Brayshaw going down the slide.
Ooh.
King's birthday. I keep saying Queen's birthday.
Yeah, no, we've moved on.
I'm not alone
We have a king now.
He's going down the slide along with Pat Cash, which is another huge name.
Pat Cash.
But I mean, all of that aside, this Freezer the G has just turned into an absolute behemoth and keeps getting bigger, and only proven more so by the crowd here this evening at Neitz pub, and it has been here all day.
Absolutely jam-packed. So for anyone that's online and they're listening, you're probably struggling to hear our audio, but there are a lot of people here. We just did an auction where we gave away or donated a lot of good memorabilia.
We even gave away one of these beers, one of Neitz Brewmanity beers, because that's where we are right now, at his Brewmanity pub in South Melbourne, ahead of King's birthday. And yes, the beer itself went for over $1,000.
Did it really?
Yes. But look, there's so many inspirational stories going on here this afternoon and into this evening, with donations that have already started to crank for the big day for Neil Danaher. And the question just needs to be asked again, over and over. Why has this man not won Australian of the Year?
Yes, that's a very good point.
I'm not sure if you can hear us at home, if you're listening at home. We've
got a few people on.
We have a few people on. Can you give us some comments? Can we see some comments? Hi, Robbo and Dave from Barry and Fee.
Sounds like my wife's checking in. She thinks this sounds perfect.
She's checking in on you.
You know what she's happy about? She's not sitting in the cold doing the mixing, which is what she'd normally be doing.
There's heaters now here at Neitz pub. There's heaters.
There are. So it's not the big freeze at Brewmanity anymore. It's not a big freeze at all. Here he is.
Speaking of the man, here he is. Neitz has been working like a blue-ass fly, as they used to say, working his coit off trying to make this function run smoothly. And here he is now. We'll move this over for you, Dave, so you can fit in beautifully. David Neitz is a superstar.
Smoothly, it is not what you said.
It's running perfectly.
No, it is. It's been fantastic. Very
right up to the mic there, Dave, this is still confusing for me. It confused me last time. Nita, huge day.
It's been a fantastic day. Unbelievable. We had the event. We thought, previously we've done it, we've got about 150 people. We thought, we might do a bit better this year. But we've got 300 people here tonight. Absolutely magnificent. We're going to raise a lot of money for the fight against MND, just through people turning up. So we're super excited about that and doing our little bit for Neil.
And you've got Melbourne supporters tuning in, and for those people listening to the podcast, give us a rundown of some of the names in the room this evening.
From a Demons perspective, we've got yourself is the most important. I just want to say that, just so everyone's listening out there.
Thank you, I'll pay you later.
Robertson's here. We've got the Wizard, Jeff Farmer's here. We've got Stephen Tingate. He's
oh, wow.
Who else have we got? We've got Benny Holland. We have got Paul Hopgood in the room. Chrissy Johnson, CJ.
Yes.
He's floating around in here.
Son of the great Alan Johnson.
Son of the great Alan Johnson. We have got Guy Rigoni, of course, and he actually really likes the Big Freeze 10 lager. That we're now. I've got one of those. You've got
you
one.
You have got one here. It's actually taken out of the casing now.
I'm going to show her on the floor.
How good does that look? Well done
Very
to
good.
you.
Now, I want to just say to everyone, go into Coles Liquor and buy one of those. Because we're doing a lot of fundraising through First Choice, Liquorland, places like you can buy a beanie, make donations, and we're going to jointly raise a lot of funds through that.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely, and I love that.
But Guy likes it, and Guy only drinks either BB or Carlton Draft, and he actually likes it. So if you're a traditional beer drinker, you're going to like it. It's going to be good.
So we had an inspirational moment again, you and I, Dave, with a mate of mine and a mutual mate of ours who just loves what goes on with this time of the year. The Fight and the Freeze Army comes together. We go to the MCG, we do the slide, and this year it's King's birthday, and he donates every single year. Because of what is going on here and the love, and he's really come through. And he's come through again for us this afternoon with a last-minute death knell donation based on Brayshaw going down the slide and you being here and putting this function on this afternoon. Amazing moment again, mate. Talk us through it.
I know. So Russell has got a friend who wishes to remain anonymous, which is fair enough. But we're having a bit of fun with this one. So we had Triple M here earlier in the day, broadcasting live, and we said, well, let's still have a bit of fun. Let's pretend that Robbo needs to get onto Triple M, right? And his mate he'll donate 20,000
to get Robbo on Triple M.
Robbo on.
Yeah. Pretend that I need to get on Triple M.
Well,
anyway, they've said
with
no
his CD
chance.
higher.
They said no chance. We get Robbo's onto us. He wants to be on every second week. He's ringing us. He's trying to hunt us down. No chance for 20,000. And then we go, well, what about for 50,000? Triple M, JB, no chance. What about for 100,000? And sure enough, they let him on for 100
All
grand.
right, but just.
So
I'm happy to take 20 grand if I didn't come onto the radio. So it may have made it work reverse for us. Oh, there's just so much going on here.
There is,
Davo.
but the thing is, Robbo, through your connection, we have just raised another $100,000
Yeah, it's
through
amazing.
the generosity of your mate, which is absolutely unbelievable. It's a phenomenal effort, and it's going to do so much for the research, the fight, and supporting all of the work and all the clinical trials and everything that gives hope to people that are suffering from MND.
Now, Nita's going to help us out. And before you go, Nita, and find out.
Look at him, he's giving me the flicker
Well,
already.
we're getting off.
I just got here.
Well, I want to get into the sponsor's product over here and have a few beers myself, get this podcast over and done with. But we've got a few to get through. So before you go,
yes,
I have to say, Dave, this man here sitting to my left, and everyone who watches the show and Barracks Melbourne knows a lot about what he did on the field, but off the field he continues to work really closely with Neil. He worked closely with him as a player, but off the field, inspiration for the Brewmanity thing was, every beer sold, it did a little bit of good, and that little bit of good went to Neil Danaher and obviously the fund and all that stuff that you just said. But you continue to champion this for Neil behind the scenes. And big moments like this are obviously not behind the scenes, but all year round. So all of us come out around this time of year and we buy our beanie and it's great and everything. He's doing it all the time. So kudos to you, big fella. You've done an amazing job. You and Hoppy and the guys at...
Yeah, everyone gets behind it, and it's Neil's mantra, isn't it? It's what you do. So we've definitely grabbed hold of that with both hands and said, well, let's just do something, And it doesn't have to be huge and amazing, but small things make a big difference, and that's where we started from. And now we'll after today we'll go over $1 million that we've been able to generate through all the stuff that we've done. So it's an enormous thing, and we're really proud of that.
So we are, and you should be proud of yourself. And as you're going out to find Jan, I would love to speak to Jan down here.
I'm going to hunt Jan down for you, Robbo.
I can even jump off and you can do this, Dave.
I reckon if you're going to give me the boot, you might as well do it for Jan. For anyone else, I'll be not happy, but for Jan,
exactly.
It's fine.
Neil's better half. Go for it, mate. Off you go. Thank you, pal. Phenomenal day, Davo, and well done to you two to come in here after Triple M bumped out all their gear and you just quickly whipped this up. There's been a few technical issues. It's always fraught with danger, isn't it?
But not my fault this time, which is the best thing.
Exactly. You've done very well. And here's here, bright lights. Jan down here, you must be used to bright lights. Chuck those on so you can hear what I'm saying to you. Here she is, the great lady, the first lady of the Danahers.
Hello, Russell.
Hello, Jan. It's good to see you. Our second mum back in the day, she was. Well, I feel like Neil was the big dog, like he was the coach. But who was really in charge? Was it you?
Oh, absolutely.
He had a guy.
I wish.
He always told us that, Trody. I'm a puppet. Don't worry, boys. What about this, Jan? It's amazing.
It's amazing. I mean, all you Melbourne boys have been absolutely incredible, helping fight MND and helping our family with raising money for the cause and trying to beat this bloody disease.
Yeah.
So, no, thanks. And it's great to see everyone here. It's huge.
Well, you haven't met Davo yet, so
No,
you
hi,
maybe
Dave.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Did you ever dream that it would get to this level? Like everyone walking around in beanies everywhere at the Bunnings barbecues, and it's just like the whole city has really embraced it.
Yeah, no, it started off very small. I mean, we used to pack beanies on our kitchen table after work with a few bottles of wine. So who knows where those beanies went about 2 a.m. You had to write out the addresses, and so to see what's become of it. But it couldn't happen without so many people getting involved and supporting us. So we're very lucky.
No, it's amazing. It's a great cause.
Very grateful.
And it just every year, and kudos on the beanie this year because it's really nice. Obviously, they'll go on mass sale soon if they haven't already, and they'll be just flying out the door. Because I remember Neil saying, we only need about 1,000, but don't get too many to both your daughters and the family. But they were adamant, no, these are going to sell more. And they were right, weren't they?
They were right. He was so wrong. And he doesn't like to be wrong. You know that, Robbo.
What is that?
He wanted a bandana, and we all looked at him and went, no, it's not happening.
No, not Melbourne.
So I think he said no, 5,000 beanies, and I think we sold 30,000 that first year.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
So, yeah, he was wrong.
He was wrong. Can you give us an idea of how much percentage of what the funds made goes through the beanie? Because I just feel like I walk around the streets and I see so many of those beanies and people feel like they're contributing. So do we get an idea of the number, a figure every year?
Well, we've invested $97 million into research. So it's a massive amount of money, and we run pretty light, with the number of staff we have, etc.
Yeah.
And we're all very, very careful that the money that's raised goes to where it needs to go. So, with all the research projects, etc., there's a really stringent process that goes into all of that so that nothing's wasted. So we don't want people giving money to a foundation and it gets wasted. So we make sure it's all used really well.
And where are we at with that? Because I know Neil, I've spoken to him years ago, that there was excitement about certain trials that were being done. Where are we at currently placed in terms of those clinical trials and development in finding that cure?
So when Neil was diagnosed, there was no trials. There was nothing he could go on to give him any hope that he might be cured, etc. So now we've got trials that have come outside the lab. So instead of trialling drugs on mice, we're actually trialling drugs on people.
Wow.
So we've got 14 drug trials at the moment. We've got a lot of drug development projects. We've got research into care. There's 2 really big research projects with care now, how to look after people with MND. And the other thing I think is really important for researchers, they have to raise money before they can actually start work. So we're actually funding at that next level down so that they can just keep working on drugs and projects and research for MND.
Are you getting funding as well from government, or is it mostly coming through the initiatives that you're doing like this?
We're really lucky that we get a lot of funding, obviously, from the community, but the government has been helpful for us, and so is the federal government.
Yeah, awesome.
They've all been involved, so that's amazing.
And what does Neil say about all of this in the quiet moments at home when you get back from a big event or even after Queen's birthday in the past? What does he say about the support?
He's overwhelmed. I
Yeah.
mean, we never thought that, you sort of thought, we'll do this, and we thought, well, how are we going to fund it and what are we going to do? But to see all the people around Australia that have been taking the time to run a fundraiser, that's hard. They're all busy, they work.
Yeah.
They're running fundraisers. So many people involved, and I think Neil's just overwhelmed at the support, to be honest.
Well, he shouldn't be, because he's a great man and he's proving it more and more as we go along. What do you think he found harder? Running this campaign to raise money?
Or trying to get Russell Robertson to tackle?
That's not what I was going to say. Or running the Melbourne Football Club, I was going to say. Part of that was, yes, a micro part of that was managing me, but the whole Melbourne Football Club back in the day, because you were there through all of it.
Neil loved coaching, absolutely loved coaching. And he had a fantastic group of boys that are helping today.
Yeah.
There's heaps of them here tonight.
Yeah.
And they've been incredible. And I think his passion was coaching you boys.
I think so too.
Yeah.
He did love it. He loved it.
He loved it.
He used to laugh and laugh and laugh, mostly at his own jokes, which made us laugh.
He always does that. He actually know when he's going to tell a joke. He gets that smile and you go, oh, here we go.
So where to from here? Is there any big developments? Last question before we let you go, Jan, because you've got people here you need to get around. Where to from here? We've got the beanies, we're doing the King's Birthday. Is there any developments behind closed doors to make this bigger, or is it just like it's just self-fueling now?
Oh, look, we'll just keep looking and seeing what we can do to make things better and to improve things. But while we've got the support of everyone around Australia, look, we can't ask for any more. It's absolutely incredible, and we're very, very grateful.
Well, it takes an army, and there's soldiers everywhere, but you are the one that's doing the most work, Jan. It's unbelievable the support you're giving your husband, the support you're giving your daughters, sons, grandchildren. There's heaps of those now, and keep fighting the fight. Well done to you. We love you.
And thanks so much, Robbo, and thanks so much for your support.
No worries, Jan. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jan.
You go now and continue to drink. I don't think she's drinking Nita's beer. You might be having something a little bit more classy. She's got a nice wine there. Well, we're going to try to get we've got the wizard over there. See you, Jan. Thank you. We've got the wizard over there, and we're going to try to wave down, or even Clint Bizzle's over there.
How come everyone's avoiding you, mate? Is that a normal thing? Like you're waving at your teammates and they're all turning around.
It's kind of like when I used to wave when I was leading for the ball. Kick it here, and they'd look at me and
they all turn and go,
we'll kick it to Nita, actually.
Yeah, well, Nita is there, and they are sort of getting around him, and so maybe it's because he's got a brewery now too. That could be part of the problem.
He's a man in demand. Everybody wants to know Nita.
So is that $100,000 and you going on Triple M a real deal or what?
Yes, real deal. So a friend of mine who, wants to remain anonymous, didn't want any notoriety as the rain starts to fall down here on all our equipment.
Yeah.
It's a typical Melbourne evening. He wanted to remain anonymous, wanted to make a donation. Nate, get us somebody to talk to.
Someone to talk to or a beer.
And shipped me off today after a lunch that we had together and said, here, I want to donate some money. I want to donate a sizable amount. And it doesn't matter what the amount is, but it is the thought that counts. He donated $100,000 to the Freeze effort, the Fight MND, our little group here that are putting... So here we go. I've been trying to get him on forever, but he's so hard to get a hold of.
He didn't have to go very far to get on this one.
Today, I didn't have to go very far. He's got his entourage here too. There's about 5 or 6 blokes that follow and suit every time he gets around. This is going to be embarrassing for you, Trav. All your mates here. Sit down.
They're my partners.
Trav, how are you, mate? Everybody out in Facebook land, give me some questions for Travis, because they've been asking for you for a while, mate. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, Bobo.
What about this? This is pretty awesome.
So I brought 11 friends to come along. We've got rain coming in. We're about to get electrocuted. Am I getting paid for this interview or not?
Yes. you got
coming in sideways.
You got private health. Last question before we are going to shut this off because the rain is pelting down. Last question. What does Neil Danaher mean to you, son? Real quick.
Danaher's was awesome to me. I was lucky enough to go number 1 draft pick with him. One of my greatest moments when I did that was when we all first meet up at Melbourne. Hobby walked up to him and said, thank you, Terry, for drafting Travis. He's a Chelsea boy.
He only lasted a year after.
And then Hobby got sacked.
He called Neil Terry.
He's coming in sideways.
Yeah. All right, we're going to pack up here. Say goodbye. That's been a Very Melbourne podcast live from Nita's Pub. A very short and sweet Very Melbourne podcast this week. Dave, we're going to have to cancel it. It is just, we're getting belted on. It could not be any worse.
It's so Melbourne. It's very Melbourne.
We'll see you later, guys, in Facebook land. Get to the King's Birthday Collingwood match. It's going to be huge. Tickets go on sale. It's very shortly. It's going to go pretty quick, I would have thought, too. As they keep nominating all the people to go down the slide.
We could be all right.
You reckon? It's your equipment. It's getting wet.
Nah, fuck it.
We're going to cancel it. See you later, guys.